Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Governor directs all public schools to temporarily close, turn to remote learning. 6 new COVID-19 cases announced, bringing state's total to 13, officials say. Governor Chris Sununu announced Sunday that all public schools will be closed in New Hampshire beginning Monday to help prevent the spread of COVID-19, the disease caused by the novel coronavirus. Sununu made the announcement after Dr. Benjamin Chan, the state epidemiologist, announced that there were 6 new cases of COVID-19 in New Hampshire, bringing the state's total to 13. Given these very serious developments, our understanding is this is a rapidly evolving situation. I'm directing schools to a remote learning environment starting immediately, Sununu said. School districts will have 1 week to prepare remote learning systems. Then there will be 2 weeks of remote learning across the state through April 3rd, Sununu said. By the end of the 3 weeks, the governor and school officials will reassess the proper path forward, whether students can return to school or whether school will remain closed. The governor's order applies to all public schools. The order does not apply to private schools, though many are making the move to close their schools and shift to remote instruction, officials clarified after the press conference. Commissioner Frank Edelblut has been in contact with non-public schools, and most are following the same course, but governor's order does not apply to them. Grant Voss, Director of Communications at New Hampshire Department of Education, said. The governor also announced that he'll be issuing directives over the next couple of days aimed at ensuring families will be able to properly care for their children without worrying about their take-home pay. And here is a look at that photo of the letter that Governor Chris Sununu said. Take a look right here. And if you want to see that, again, we will share the link with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page. Sununu said the state will also work to provide flexibility for workers who won't be able to stay at home while schools are closed. The governor also said the state will work to set aside funds to assist districts to ensure all vacant school buildings are deep cleaned over the next few weeks. 6 new cases. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, the affected people are 4 women and 2 men who had all traveled to domestic or international locations. 2 of the cases are women from Rockingham County who traveled to multiple countries in Europe on the same trip as an earlier COVID-19 case, according to health officials. DHHS announced 2 women from Rockingham County recently traveled to different states experiencing community transmission. One of the men had traveled to multiple European countries, according to DHHS. Another man from Nashua had recently traveled to Central America. Chan also said that the 7th case in the state, which was announced Friday, also involved travel. The woman, who officials said was at the Division of Motor Vehicles location in Manchester several times this month, traveled domestically in days before symptoms presented themselves. All 13 patients have been hospitalized and all 13 patients have not been hospitalized and are resting at home with mild symptoms, Chan said. According to health officials, an investigation into the new cases was conducted and they are in the process of notifying anyone who may have been in close contact with the patients while they were infectious. Chan said the public's help is needed to help reduce the spread. In this setting of the new coronavirus pandemic, I want to stress that we need everybody's help to prevent the spread of this new virus and protect our families and communities, Chan said. He said that while about 80% of the cases involve minor symptoms that can be treated at home, some require hospitalizations. Those most for severe illnesses, including people over 60 years old and people with underlying health conditions. Let's take a look at this photo and graphic for all of you. COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 13 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 162,687 number of people worldwide who have tested positive. Number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire, 0. 62 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. 6,065 number of deaths from COVID-19 worldwide. We have 3 people in Grafton County that have it, 9 people in Rockingham, and 1 person in Hillsborough. The common symptoms: fever, cough, difficult breathing. How it spreads: it's unclear how easily COVID-19 spreads. Human coronavirus commonly spreads through respiratory droplets from coughing or sneezing, though close personal contact, such as touching or shaking hands, or touching your face, eyes, or mouth after touching a surface with the virus on it. Prevention tips: wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Do not touch your eyes, nose, or mouth with unwashed hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Cover your mouth and nose with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Then throw the tissue away in the trash and wash your hands. Clean and disinfect objects and surfaces. Stay home from work or school if you have a fever or not feeling well. And that does it for my evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another news report. Good night and bye, everyone.